This is Dairy Milk from Cadbury, one of the most famous chocolate bars that you can find almost in every store around the world. The company itself was started back in the early 19th century by a guy called John Cadbury. The chocolate bar I'm holding in my hands was first introduced back in 1905. That's more than 10 decades ago, which makes the company 100 plus years old as we speak right now. It's quite obvious that a company of this age might need to rebrand to tap into the new or the present day generation. Cadbury just rebranded, and here are some of the details you might have missed. Let's begin with the signature logo. Put side by side, you might assume the old logo looks exactly like the new logo. In fact, this started an outrage online amongst the design community, one side saying the new logo looks too lazy, and the other side uploading the new logo. Let's try to break this down. Putting a baseline on both logos, here's what's happening. The new signature seems to be sitting straight on the baseline, yet the old signature, when you look at it, it seems to be ascending off the baseline at an angle of about 15 degrees. So to best understand the why behind this design decision, I decided to look up the science of signatures. So here's the thing. I came across a number of articles in line with handwriting, and what I found was shocking, that people who tend to write going up off the baseline, or what you would call ascending signatures, tend to be ambitious, one, and two, they tend to be creative. And whereas for the people who write straight on the baseline, or what you would call straight signatures, tend to be balanced emotionally. So what's the bottom line here? It could be true that the new logo strikes a unique subtle balance between all generations. We all don't know, but we're still yet to find out. So let's move on to the weight and ligature of this signature. When you take a close look at the weight, this went from a thick, bold signature to a lightweight signature, almost close to a believable handwriting. To best understand what's going on in the ligature, I want you to focus on these three letters: the D, the B, and the U. So I went ahead and redrew these letters, and what I discovered was that the new logo seems to have a bit of fluidity when you're connecting D, B, and U, compared to the old logo that is a bit tricky to complete a full ligature without lifting your brush. So breaking all this down, you might still have the question of how does this look different from the old one? And I'll give you the answer. When you look up the history, the original logo was designed after John Cadbury's signature. And when you look at the thickness of the old logo, it wasn't close to his signature. It was an idea they borrowed from his signature. But then when you compare it to the new logo, right now, the logo that has just been rebranded to, I think this has so much to borrow from a signature. So based on that assumption, I think the new logo preserves the history well compared to the old one. So moving on, I want us to go to the main thing, which I think is the most important thing that people are waiting for, which is the packaging. So putting the old packaging right side by side with the new packaging, you can clearly see that the Dairy Milk product logo went from this, lowercase normal weight serif typeface to a bold uppercase sans serif. And in fact, I made a video last year about the typography trends to keep an eye on, and in that video I mentioned bold and texture typography. If you missed that video, I'll put a link somewhere here for you to go check it out. So there are two main things that I want to detail on the packaging. One, the visual hierarchy, and two, the color. So when you take a close look at the packaging, right off the bat, it's super obvious that the color didn't change and the visual hierarchy didn't change. So let's begin with the color. The color stayed purple, and when you move on to the hierarchy is still the same. The master brand comes right on the top, followed by the sub-product brand, followed by the ingredient brand, then followed by the flavor brand, or whatever flavor is that product. So with that said, you might still have the question of why would they call this a rebrand when they didn't change nothing like the color or the visual hierarchy? And I'll try to give you my interpretation for that. Cadbury as a brand cuts across a number of generations, all the way from traditionalist to Generation Z. People have been shopping this same pack for more than 50 years, which makes it easy for them when they go to the supermarkets, they just point and pick. If you're familiar with the term photographic memory, if you're not, this is when people go to shop and they don't look at the packaging, reading all the details. They just trust the form or the shape of the packaging and the color or even the visual hierarchy. And trust me, if the company ended up rebranding or changing the color and the visual hierarchy, people would struggle to shop the pack. They would pick a pack they didn't intend to shop and go home frustrated with a different kind of chocolate, because almost every chocolate is purple. So I think it was a smart move. And even for the brand itself, if it happened to rebrand and going with a different color or a different visual hierarchy, trust me, that would have been a billion-dollar mistake. So one last thing I want to point on the Diet Milk product logo. When you look at it, the two glasses were separated away from the word milk, and now they're pouring into the chocolate, which I think was a smart decision compared to the previous version of the packaging. I think this has helped them free the ingredient brand away from Cadbury Dairy Milk as a product, and now even other Cadbury products can get to use it if they happen to contain milk as an ingredient, like Cadbury cream eggs. If it happens to have some milk in it as an ingredient, they can just stamp these two glasses pouring into the egg. So let's get into the general thought. There is so much that has been said on this branding project. A lot of people speculating how the entire project costed Cadbury €1 million, but later on the company came out and said it wasn't even close to €500,000. I don't know, we still don't know, but here's my 2 cents on this story. So as a designer, I believe design can never be perfect. There is always room for improvement. So here's the thing, I love everything about the Diet Milk logo. But when you pay close look at the counter form, it's a bit unsettling for me, and that's a personal taste. It might be different for you. So for the length of this video, I couldn't fit all the details that I wanted to share with you in one video. So what I ended up doing was putting together a presentation that will run you through all the details and things that I've missed in this video that will help you understand what happened on this brand design. And if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description that will take you where you download the PDF, or if you're interested in a keynote, you'll find the keynote there. And for those who want to check out the brand agency that worked on this brand design, I'll leave a link in the description. The agency is called Bulletproof Agency. Man, these guys are really good. So if you're anyone from Bulletproof and you're watching this video, kudos to you guys. You've done some amazing work over the years, and this is one of those. I think the client is super excited, and we the consumer are super excited to get our hands on this packaging, because man, it's super. So here's the thing, if you learned a thing out of this video, consider hitting that like button, and don't forget to talk to me in the comment section, because that's where I can answer you fast in real time. And if you love this video that much, you can share it to your friends, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, because that helps in some way. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one. Love you all.